and welcome back to the Give and Go. I'm your coach, Reynoso, here with my boy
Soltero. What's up, y'all?
Copa Libertadores is what is up, man. The round of 16 just happened, and we have the quarterfinals set in this prestigious South American tournament. And let me just go through the quarterfinal matches so that people know what is going on. We have Fluminense, defending champions, going up against Atlético Mineiro, Colo versus River Plate, Botafogo versus Sao Paolo, and then Peñarol versus Flamengo. That's who we have in the quarterfinals. Let me give you insight, though, into how these teams got here, and then I will give you my preview and predictions as well. Were you able to catch any Copa Libertadores games in the past 2 weeks?
Games? No. Highlights, yes.
That's fair enough. Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. We're going to start with Colo and how they find themselves here in the quarterfinals. Chilean side Colo, one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in Chile, defeating Junior FC 3-1 in that second leg. I was surprised to see going into this match that I actually was very excited about Junior FC, man. I found myself actually liking them because I like the players. I like the way the stadium looked. There's a freaking bush in the stadium, bro. If you watch Junior FC games, there is a bush that outlines the outer part of the stadium. It is ridiculous, bro. And then, and in the most South American way, they have cars in the stadium as well, dude. Hyundais.
They're perfect.
it's
selling for 10,000 pesos.
It's the most South American thing. But more specifically, what I liked about Junior FC was their striker, Carlos Baca.
Dude, I saw that.
I can't believe it.
I didn't know he's still playing football. I'm being completely honest with you.
37 years old, still going strong. Folks, if you don't know, this is the same club that produced Luis Diaz, who's at Liverpool right now. They also produced this Colombian star, I would say, Carlos Baca, who, looking at his numbers, ridiculous career. Went to AC Milan, Sevilla. I think there was a couple more European teams that I'm failing to remember right now.
But beast, though.
Beast, and he started his career at Barranquilla, moved on to Junior FC, and then went over to Europe. And the same path that Luis Diaz actually went on.
Oh, wow.
Similar, so same. He started off at Barranquilla as well. He got a goal in this game. The only goal in this match to tie it, to keep it really close. But ultimately, it was Colo who was able to get an amazing away result in this game with Falcón, the center back of all people, getting a goal in this match. And then surprisingly, a player coming off the bench that I didn't expect to see, Arturo Vidal.
Yeah, I also didn't know he was in Chile.
He's in Chile playing for Colo now. I still thought he was at Flamengo, man. But
yeah, same.
Turns out he's in Colo, and they go through. I'm a little concerned about this team, though. I'm a little concerned because when it comes to defense, bro, Falcón, who scored a goal, very susceptible to a mistake, dude. Think David Luiz, but like bootleg version, bro.
Yeah.
Looks like him, has a crazy hair, crazy personality, but bro, he almost gave a goal away in this match. And apparently, I didn't watch the first leg, but based off what the commentator said, he did the exact same thing in the first leg as well. I think this defense from Colo is very, very suspect. Where I will give them credit is their counterattacking ability, because they sat back, let Junior FC come at them, and then on the counter, where it was with a long-range shot or a set piece, they found ways to get goals and step up in these moments. So I will say there's a little bit of positives. There's a little bit of positives with this team, but ultimately I am a little skeptical of how Colo looks in this tournament so far.
So did Junior get unlucky? Did they get upset?
Nah,
what happened?
They got exposed, bro. They got exposed.
Okay.
Yeah,
they were just also a bad team.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I expected more from them, and I just didn't get that whatsoever, bro. That second half specifically was shameful from Junior FC and the way Colo just took over. So Colo goes through, rightfully so, and Junior FC is knocked out. The next match I saw was Palmeiras versus Botafogo. You see the highlights for that one?
No, I actually did not on this one.
This is the game that people are calling game of the tournament so far in the Copa Libertadores. Ended 2-2, but on aggregate 4-3 in favor of Botafogo. And this is big because Palmeiras just 2-3 years ago was dominating this tournament, winning the trophy, bro. Ridiculous. Abel Ferreira leading this team to incredible runs, now has 2 straight exits in the Copa Libertadores for one of the most, one of the highest valued Brazilian teams and just South American teams in the region. But Botafogo, man, they might be the real deal now.
That's crazy that they won this, because you already said it, but Palmeiras usually make deep runs even if they don't get to the final. That's why I was so curious to see, could Botafogo actually basically beat demons here? And they did.
Bro, away from home.
Damn.
Away from home.
Damn.
Palmeiras, super intimidating stadium.
Yeah.
Botafogo got the result. Granted, they were up a goal after the game that they had in that first leg, which I give them a lot of credit to. But Botafogo, if you look at just the rise they've been on, obviously everybody knows the way that they failed to lift the Brazilian title last year and ultimately choked it out. The reason they were even in contention was because they were defeating teams like Flamengo, teams like Palmeiras in the league early on in the season, starting to kind of impose themselves onto the Brazilian league. And I thought, kind of similar to Dortmund, man, that losing the league that way would have a big mental toll on not just the players, but the whole institution. But the way they've responded so far, first place in Brazil, dude. First place, and now defeating Palmeiras in this tight affair. Credit to Botafogo. I really do think they might be the real deal now because they have a great mix of offense, defense, midfield. They've assured those positions that were a little questionable last year. They've assured them with either guys like Thiago Almada coming into this team, spending big money in the offseason, and just shoring up a lot of positions. Botafogo, man, I think is a really good contender here for the Copa Libertadores. If they continue playing the way that they are in the league right now, if they translate that over, bro, Botafogo, now with this momentum of beating Palmeiras, could be a contender in the Copa Libertadores.
Yeah, that's actually really beautiful to hear because I was with you, man. When Botafogo lost last year, I just thought they were going to completely cave this year and just propose basically nothing. And it's so easy to cave in Brazil because the league is so volatile. Like you could finish second place one year and then 14th the next. It's not uncommon. But the fact that they're still going at this very high level, it's beautiful to see. For Palmeiras, though, right, they had Endrick last year, right, the youngster. They had another youngster, Estevao. Did he stand out at all?
Nah, he had a bad game.
Okay,
Game. He played the whole game, but he didn't impose himself.
He was just there.
But what I was thinking, dude, is I'm starting to think Abel Ferreira's getting exposed a little bit here, man. He's getting figured out. Teams are starting to figure out how to beat his teams because I thought he had a really bad decision of not starting specifically Ronnie.
Ronnie, yeah.
Ronnie,
big fan of him.
Big fan, dude. He comes off the bench in the 61st minute. Keep in mind, they needed a goal going into this game. They bring Ronnie on because Botafogo was up 2-0. They were down 3 goals in this game. They bring on Ronnie, and he goes on to generate 5 clear-cut opportunities, man. I thought he was incredible off the bench. His energy, just his enthusiasm on the pitch, I think is very notable. I'm a little harsh on Abel Ferreira here because I think he should have started the game, dude. He should have found a way to get into this squad, and it was disappointing because it was just too late. Ronnie did end up getting a goal in this match, as well as another Palmeiras player, I can't remember, gets a second goal, and they set themselves up for a really dramatic last 5-10 minutes. And they actually scored a goal to equalize, man. They scored a clear-cut goal to equalize with a crazy bobble in the box, hitting the back of the net. VAR reviews it. Clear handball.
Okay.
Clear handball.
Okay. It's put it in?
He to control it. To bring it down and then shoot it.
No, good.
It was a handball.
Good.
Handball.
Good.
Amazing call from the referee. I actually didn't think he would do it.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would do it. I didn't think he would do it. And then in one of the dying moments in the match, free kick for Palmeiras hits the post. So this game had all the late game drama. Dude, it had all of it, bro. It was insane. But Botafogo survives. The other Brazilian team that made it through here is Fluminense, who I know, shocking based off of what we've seen from them so far in the Brazilian league. They're battling relegation, which you so kindly reminded me of. It was the reason I checked up on it was because Fluminense is in the relegation zone, but they're facing off against Gremio, a team that they ultimately bested on penalties to go through to the quarterfinals. Thiago Silva getting a goal in this game. The transfer from Chelsea, making a name for himself over here. The team that he started his career with. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Corner kick header. Just classic Thiago Silva.
Classic, bro.
Classic. And then John Arias scoring a really smart penalty to give them that second goal. The back line of Fluminense, though, bro. The back line. Can you guess what the average age of Fluminense's entire back line is? Give me a number.
38.
35.
35, okay.
35, bro. Fabio is 43. Thiago Silva is 39. They have 2 35-year-olds, and the youngest player is their left back, who's 25.
Right. Well, Marcelo used to be there. And that's when it was like 37.
Oh my God, dude, that's insane. That is insane. I just can't believe that they're actually doing it. They're here in the quarterfinals of the Copa Libertadores with a lineup that old, but I guess experience just best it all, man. It's better.
I saw that they still have the same midfielders too, Martinelli and the other guy.
Yeah, Andre. Andre's still here, bro. Still here, and some surprising names. Marchesin is here.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, playing goalkeeper for Gremio now.
I saw that. I was like, what the fuck? Like, that's where he's at.
That's
right
where he's
now?
at. And in an even more random one, which you probably already know, Martin Braithwaite.
Yes, that
Danish.
one. That one. I was like, what the hell? I love it. But also like, shit.
A Danish man, a man from Denmark in Brazil. I couldn't believe it, bro.
Can't believe it.
But it just makes sense. At the end of the day, it's Fabio who saves Fluminense in the penalty shootout. Credit to him. No matter what his age is, he steps up. He saves the team. And Fluminense specifically, I did not know this, has so much aura when it comes to hosting Libertadores games in their own stadium. They have never been eliminated by another Brazilian team in the knockout stages of the Copa Libertadores.
Wow.
Never. If it's a Brazilian team, they win.
Oh
So
my
keep that
God.
in mind. Keep that in mind. And then also, they have never lost a knockout game of the Copa Libertadores at the Maracanã specifically.
Okay, so when they play there, they just don't lose against anybody.
They don't lose.
Okay.
Sure, maybe they lost in the other game and therefore they get kicked out because they tie or something.
Right.
It's just they no matter what, if they play at the Maracanã, they do not lose. That is aura personified.
Dang, that's crazy because that's where the final was last year. I didn't know that going into that.
I wish I knew that, man.
Yeah.
I wish I knew that. Crazy.
Damn.
And keep in mind, the final this time is played at Buenos Aires.
Yeah.
The stadium hasn't been decided, but it will be in Argentina,
Okay.
the biggest city.
Yeah.
That is exciting, bro.
Yeah,
Very,
that
very
one's
exciting.
very exciting, especially since River's still in this.
Yes, sir. And we'll get there. We will get there because we have Atlético Mineiro going up against San Lorenzo, classic Brazil versus Argentina matchup. And honestly, this one just boils down to that traditional Brazilian clubs own Argentine clubs, dude. Mentally, when it's tight, there's a better chance if you're Brazilian that you're going to find a way to get the result and go through, because San Lorenzo actually played a really good game and generated a lot of close opportunities that just a few centimeters off, just a few centimeters of difference.
I saw, dude.
And they could have been in the next round, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, beautiful goals too they could have had, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful goals, but it's Atlético Mineiro off of a set piece that scores a goal, gets the result. I don't know, man. This Mineiro team did not convince me whatsoever. I thought San Lorenzo played a better game and kept it very, very tight. Mineiro goes through because they're playing at home and they just had that set piece goal. So I'm just not that convinced with Atlético Mineiro. Some notable names: Gustavo Scarpa, who I was very high on when he went on over to Nottingham Forest after playing at Palmeiras, is there. Mm-hmm. I guess Europe just wasn't fit for him, bro.
That's a lot of players I'm noticing. There's a lot of Brazilians that go over and immediately come back.
Immediately, bro. Gabigol only played 14 games in Europe.
Yeah.
And his numbers are ridiculous in South America.
They're crazy in South America.
He didn't want to keep trying? That baffles me, man.
Yeah. Cruzeiro have like 4 players that tried Europe and then immediately came back. And now they're just starting for them. So it is pretty crazy.
Wow. Alan Franco from Ecuador is pulling the strings for Mineiro. Aranha, the Brazilian fullback who's gotten a lot of international appearances, is here. Bernard, the Everton winger at one point, is here as well. Edu Vargas, the Chilean, is also playing here. And then obviously, most notably, the injured man at this moment, Hulk, is playing for Mineiro. And I looked at his numbers. He's balling out still.
Oh, really?
He has not dipped whatsoever.
Damn.
It's ridiculous.
I saw him in the stands.
Yeah. His numbers are ridiculous. So, as I mentioned, Mineiro not very convincing, but they do end up defeating San Lorenzo. Next matchup is the strongest, going up against Peñarol. The strongest winning the second leg 1-0, but one of the most meaningless results within the Sudamericana and Libertadores, because Peñarol won that first leg 4-0. And it was such a convincing performance, bro. What an incredible atmosphere. Uruguay has a gem of a team on their hands with Peñarol, man, because this was honestly my first time really focusing in and watching a Peñarol game. That stadium, the lighting, the way that it looks, the atmosphere, that color of black and yellow.
Yellow's crazy.
Fascinating, man. And with the South American approach to it.
Yeah.
What's really cool, man. Reminds me of Dortmund a little bit. And so seeing them host the strongest and just ball out with 4 goals in that first leg. Leo Fernandez from Toluca is here. 12 goals and 5 assists so far for Peñarol this season. Clearly, like the guy from Marcelino from Lanús, clearly the difference maker for this team, dude. This guy is pulling the strings in every single way that he can. He got a goal and 2 assists in that first match. And I would argue he had the assist of the tournament in that game against the strongest, where he beautifully fed one of his teammates on the 3rd goal. It was just an amazing pass. You have to see the video, the way that he strung it, and then he pulled his leg back like he's spinning a trompo. It was ridiculous, bro, like a yo-yo, the way he just pulled his leg back. He knew what he was doing. The class and effort on that play was amazing. But then you also have Facundo Batista up top, who's from Necaxa, played in Liga MX as well as part of this team. So Peñarol is on a really cool run because they're now in the quarterfinals, and this is a team that I believe has 5 Copa Libertadores to their name. The last time that they won it was in 1987. 1987 was the last time they won it. So they're one of those teams like Independiente, for example, or Estudiantes, I think, from Argentina, who won all their titles like in the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah.
But their coach, Diego Aguirre, played on the team that won the last title for Peñarol in 1987.
Damn.
So they call him the Conquistador of Los Andes. He is bringing an incredible energy to this Peñarol team, and I think it's showing because the crowd is buying into it. They have the players. I think Leo Fernandez himself really sees this as an opportunity to be the Messi of Peñarol and bring a title to him. And I gotta say, bro, I'm actually very high on this Peñarol team, man. At least in terms of them being one of the more likable teams.
Yeah, the energy.
And to me, just a team that I really, really like. So when I watch Peñarol now in these quarterfinal matches, I'm going to give them everything, bro, because I really like the way that the team is set up. I like the fans. I like the coach. And the story of Peñarol lifting a Copa Libertadores after so many years, I think is one of the best ones out there in world football.
Yeah, they went to the final in 2011, but they lost to Neymar. Santos.
Yeah.
So this is fun that they have a little bit of a revitalization here. It's been a long time since I've really seen Peñarol this far into the tournament.
So that's exciting too.
That's
the fact
fun.
that they're back here. And that's kind of a trend that's happening so far in the Copa Libertadores. And it's why I like it so much this year, man, because it's bringing me back, dude. It is bringing me back, especially with Sao Paolo now in the quarterfinals of the Copa Libertadores. Sao Paolo, a team who very notably won the trophy back in 2005, I believe, back when my beautiful Chivas was involved in this tournament.
It
was going deep into these games. It was Sao Paulo, I remember, who was the team to fear from Brazil during that era of football in the mid-2000s.
Yeah.
They're back now with a great run in the Copa Libertadores after defeating Nacional today 2-0. And I was asking myself, I was like, how is Sao Paulo here, bro? Because I looked at the standings. They ended up in 11th place in the Brazilian league last season. So I was like, how the hell are they here, bro? Because I understand Brazilian teams get a lot of entries into these tournaments, but even then, 11th is crazy. Yeah. Turns out that they won their cup tournament last year. They won their cup tournament against either Flamengo or Palmeiras.
Sure.
And with that victory, they gained entry into the Copa Libertadores. And brother, they've taken full advantage because they won 2-0 today against Nacional, but they got some players on their hands. They got some old heads on this team with Lucas Moura from Tottenham playing here. Luis Gustavo. That's right, Luis Gustavo, the 37-year-old Brazilian midfielder who played for Bayern, played for Marseille, played on so many European teams, is here balling out for Sao Paulo. And then fullback Rafinha, who also played for Barcelona, played for Bayern Munich at an old age as well, playing for Sao Paulo. But the notable names are guys like Bobadilla, who scored today, Caleri, who is a striker up top. People really like him. The Argentine having a really good season. He's like 30 years old, but he's really found a resurgence with the Sao Paulo team. And then most notably, their most valuable player is a player that they actually have injured right now who wasn't able to play in these matchups, but will be healthy. Will be healthy by the next time they play in the quarterfinals. Pablo Maia. I think it's how you say it. Maia, I think it's how you say it. His stats are ridiculous. He's a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
And the reason I know about him is because I'm a Liverpool fan and we need a defensive midfielder. I think this guy would be a great guy to look at. 22 years old, but if you compare his numbers to all the other defensive midfielders, just central midfielders in Brazil, he is in the upper echelon of almost every single category. A very smart player who can assist and score goals as well, and is just having a really good moment right now in the Brazilian league. I think if you're a Liverpool fan or if you're the Liverpool management, look over to Pablo Maia because I think he is a great option as a defensive midfielder in Europe. So that's someone that they have just on the bench right now because he's injured.
Nice.
Ridiculous. Sao Paolo is in a very good moment right now, and they go through to the quarterfinals after defeating Nacional. Also happening today was Bolivar going up against Flamengo. And this one, for as much as Bolivar tried, I thought was pretty obvious from the get-go that Flamengo was going to get the result. Up 2-0 going into this game. Yes, they have to play away from home, but Bolivar, not the same team as last year. I thought last year's team was much, much better. They got 1 goal back in this game, but just not enough to really impose themselves on Flamengo. Flamengo gets the result, and I think Flamengo is very notable in this tournament because the names, the players that they have, I mean, they can match up to any team, honestly.
Yeah.
If we're just looking at on-paper ability, on-paper talent, and now that Palmeiras is out, Flamengo could really be a team that bounces back from, a couple of low periods in the Copa Libertadores to be contenders once again. I mean, the guy to highlight here is your boy Pedro. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous year so far.
I remember. Yeah, he's still going, huh?
Still going. He don't want to leave.
Yeah, he don't want to leave.
He don't want to leave.
That's fine, yeah.
In 42 games, can you guess how many goals he scored this year?
Dang, 22.
29.
Dang.
29 and 8 assists.
29's crazy,
29 and 8 assists.
That's insane.
It's insane.
Is he
He's
leading the
ridiculous.
Brazilian league, too?
I think so, probably.
Jeez,
I need to check that, but I would assume so, dude. He's
crazy.
ridiculous. He should be in Europe, man. I don't understand it. Ridiculous. And just other big names on this team. I think Flamengo is a contender. I really do. With the way that they're looking, the way that they did so well in the group stage, and just the ability they have with the players that they have, I think it's just so obvious that Flamengo has a chance to win the title once again.
Once again, man.
Another team that I think could definitely be a contender to lift the title, though, that isn't Brazilian, is River Plate. River Plate, who just defeated Talleres, fellow Argentine side, 3-1 on aggregate, I believe. Marcelo Gallardo is back.
I saw that, or at least heard about it. Just kind of crazy.
But Gallardo is back, and I really do think, even if maybe he's a good tactician, I don't know. But I think the vibes and energy of Gallardo being back in the locker room brings back, prime River Plate. Yeah. Really does, because they are playing incredible football. They have that mental factor, especially against another Argentine side, bro. Talleres was never going to win. They were never going to win this matchup, bro. The factor just playing a big Argentine club when you're the smaller Argentine team, very tough to overcome in a big setting like this one. And they got good players, bro. Miguel Borja, having the season of his life right now, scoring bangers for River Plate. And they just have a great blend of experienced players and then a spark of youth with a 17-year-old Franco Mastantuano starting for them regularly on that left midfield side. 17, bro. And then they also have...
That's actually pretty rare for them.
Yeah, pretty rare. And then they also have, I believe, his future Manchester City product, but Echeverri, who we saw at...
He's still there, right?
He's still there.
Yeah.
17, 18 years old.
Right.
And then Monterrey's very own Maxi Mesa now plays at River Plate.
Wait, he does?
Yeah, he plays at River Plate. Monterrey sold him, bro. And he's over here at Monterrey. He's over here at River Plate.
In Argentina.
Yeah.
Damn.
And he seems happy, bro.
Oh, of course, man.
It just fits the bill.
I love going back to South America. I mean, it's home for them. Yeah, it makes sense.
I thought he had played here before, but turns out he didn't. No. He never played for River Plate. I just thought he was the most River Plate type of player, so it makes sense. But the thing is, the way River Plate is playing right now, sure, they're not killing it in the league. I think they're like mid-table in the league right now in Argentina.
It's tight, though. It's tight there.
It is very tight, and River Plate is River Plate at the end of the day. There's two factors that I think come into play for why I think River Plate could be contenders. The first one being that they avoid a Brazilian team in the quarterfinals. They avoid a Brazilian team, which is big.
Yeah, that is big.
They don't need to see that until the semifinals.
That's huge, actually.
Huge, brother. And then the biggest one is the fact that the finals in Buenos Aires.
Yeah,
Buenos Aires, bro. That is massive, bro. A home game.
Huge
even if
motivator.
it's at the Bombonera, like that should be dope if they've won a title in their rival stadium. But if it's at the Monumental, curtains, bro. That's gonna be really tough to overcome, even if you're a really good Brazilian team. So now looking at the quarterfinal matchups, here's how they go: Fluminense, Atlético Mineiro, Colo versus River Plate, Botafogo versus Sao Paolo, and Peñarol versus Flamengo. I decided to do this instead. I ranked all 8 teams 1 to 8 based off of what I saw and where they stand right now in the league. This is how I see all 8 teams ranked, and then you can decide, you can see which teams I'm going to go with in the quarterfinals based off of these rankings. At number 8, I have Colo. I have Colo, Chilean side. I think it's going to be really tough for them to really overcome any team that they're matched up with because of that defense. At number 7, Fluminense. Close call in the round of 16. Almost got knocked out in penalties. Yes, they have the Maracanã factor, but this team is fighting relegation in Brazil right now. And I think they kind of lost that sense, that aura that they had last year that guided them to the trophy. At number 6, I have Atlético Mineiro.
Yeah.
Not convincing to me against San Lorenzo. Just not convincing. Number 5, Flamengo. I have Flamengo at number 5. And I know that might seem a little low given that the names and the talent that they have. But I don't know, man. I could see this team getting knocked down this next round. I could see them getting knocked out because of who they are facing off against in the quarterfinals. 4th place, Sao Paolo. I think there's an energy in Sao Paulo that is really, really positive, especially after winning the cup tournament that they went through in order to get to Copa Libertadores, and just the air of them being here once again, a tournament that they haven't been able to go deep in a long, long time. I think that's very impactful for South Americans. I think Sao Paulo will show it. At number 3, and this might be a hot take, I got Peñarol. Peñarol, this little Uruguayan side who's competing against the giants of Argentina and Brazil. I think there's a lot of talent on this team. I think the energy, I think Diego Aguirre, I think the story, I think the class of Lo Fernandez. I think it's enough to really challenge basically any team in this tournament, man. I really do. They do have to play at home, though. If they're not playing at home, I'm a little scared because that's what happened that second leg. They lost 1-0 away from home. 2nd place, River Plate. I'm going River Plate.
Yeah.
Going River Plate. I think this might be their time. Straight up. Just might be their time to lift the Copa Libertadores. I think they look really, really well. I think the team is a great mix. I think Gallardo being back is a huge thing for both the fans and also the mental aspect of this team. I think River Plate looks really, really solid. But at number 1, brother, I can't believe I'm saying this. I have Botafogo at number 1. First place in the Brazilian league, the best league in all of South America. You could even argue the Americas as well. Botafogo is leading it. They have an incredible blend of new transfers as well as guys that have been here for a while with Marlon Freitas, for example. I think this team is really, really good. The fans are eager, yearning for a title that they weren't able to get last year. I think the way to make it up to him is to give him La Copa Libertadores. I have Botafogo as the favorite, and honestly, my pick to win the Copa Libertadores as of the quarterfinal stages right now. And just looking at every matchup, Fluminense, Atlético Mineiro, I have Atlético Mineiro as a better team, so they go through. Colo, River Plate, I got River Plate. Botafogo, Sao Paulo, I'm going Botafogo, although that one will be really close. Peñarol, Flamengo, I have what you could say historical upset happening here.
Yeah.
With Peñarol defeating Flamengo.
It'd be pretty much, that'd be a big upset if that does happen. But you know my take on Copa Libertadores, right? 90% chance Brazilian team wins it. 10% chance an Argentine team wins it. 0% chance anybody else.
So who are you going with?
Any Brazilian team.
Any Brazilian team?
Any Brazilian team.
Okay. You don't want to go Botafogo?
Yeah, I'll definitely go Botafogo. Definitely. Honestly, I'll even go Fluminense just because Atlético Mineiro doesn't seem like they're that much better, so they might have a chance to go to the... And if Fluminense get to the semis, anything's possible for them.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. And I just think Brazil's got it in the bag this year. I do. There's so many teams now in the court.
Every year.
5. Yeah, I know. You're right. I tried to get bold with it last year, and I was wrong. Peñarol won't be able to do it. River Plate might be the only team that has a chance here at stopping it.
That's the thing, though. I am so surprised there's only one Argentine team here. That's crazy. But
I mean, who else would it be, bro? Like, if it isn't River and Boca's in the Sudamericana, like...
I know, that's crazy. I don't know how it happened. Yeah. How did Boca and Racing end up in the Sudamericana? That's a little sketchy to me, I guess. But I guess Argentina had a weird league last year. Maybe that's what happened.
I think so. So I have Botafogo winning this. But folks, let me know, who do you have winning the quarterfinals of the Copa Libertadores? What are your reactions to the round of 16? And let me know who's your pick to win this tournament. Till next time, guys. Peace.